I'm Kelly.
And I'm Danny. Welcome back to the ProCreative podcast for moms who make things.
The podcast for moms and future moms who are navigating their creative careers as they raise their little inspirations.
And we are excited, so excited to introduce our special guest today, the incredible writer, producer, and mom of two, Roni Davis.
Hello, you guys. I'm so happy to be here. Chatting with you.
Good, thank you. And before we get into it, we want to let the people know about you and your work. So we're going to do a little introduction, okay?
That's right. This is where we celebrate you even more, okay?
Right.
Roni Davis, a daytime Emmy nominee and LA-based writer-producer, crafts impactful drama centered on love and African-American relationships. Her work embodies Black women's voices, addressing social matters with millennial appeal for global audiences. With the media management masters from NYC's New School, Roni and partner Caleb Davis birthed the digital series Tough Love. Solely writing 20 half-hour episodes, she also led production, earning a Daytime Emmy nod for season 2 in 2017. TV One's Clio TV aired the licensed series along with spinoffs Tough Love LA and Tough Love Atlanta. Roni also co-created Pillow Talk, a 10-episode, 20-minute average length series on BET Plus. Her shows collectively amassed 30 million plus YouTube views. Pre-TV streaming. Okay, this is pre-TV. And she gained extensive media coverage, including KTLA, ABC7, BET.com, and so much more. Welcome, Roni.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Welcome, Roni.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, it sounds so good, right? When you read it out like that. Listen, we love to do that. It's important for you to know that how you're seen, how people see you, because all this stuff. Even though you might be just taking it in humbly and say, "This is just who I am." When you read all this, it's just like, yes, you were boss.
You did that.
You did that.
When you're in the trenches and like always pushing through to the next thing or on the next project, you just kind of forget all that you've already done and accomplished. So, it is a nice reminder sometimes.
For sure. You got to stop, pause, and reflect and celebrate.
Smell the flowers.
Yes. All righty. So now that we always want to lead with mom, right? We know you got the bomb writer, you're the bomb producer, you got a lot of things going on. But sometimes in the corporate world or even in the entertainment industry, some folks want us to tuck motherhood to the side, but we always want to lead with it. So in your bio, girl, you mentioned birthing the hit digital series Tough Love. So on that note, what was your journey to motherhood like, right? You have all this success. Were your kids like at the front end of this journey? Were they at obviously you still on a journey, girl, but what was your journey like to motherhood?
So when my husband and I created Tough Love, we had not had children yet. We did know we were dating, but we knew marriage was in our future. We knew children was in our future. We were basically trying to set the foundation and get those finances together for when that time was to come. And so we got engaged by second season of Tough Love. We got married by the third season, and then we had started planning to have a child. We had our child. No, I was pregnant. I'm sorry, I was pregnant right before we got our television deal, which was really, really nice because I felt I was at peace because I had reached an accomplishment that I wanted to reach for a very long time. So I had a really peaceful pregnancy. I was also, because we were still in the trenches and building, I was also working at the same time as a teacher. That was my full-time position. And so it was like a mixture of working on, my passions while also trying to maintain finances, also planning for this precious little baby. And so it was a joyous time. Once we had him, it's when, things got really real, and it was figuring out how to balance it all. And it was really tough. I went through post-partum anxiety. So I was just really on edge, always like checking them in the crib, always like like something was going to go wrong. And then the breastfeeding journey, it was just a lot at the beginning, and mixing that with trying to still create, very, very tough to balance at first.
I'm sure. Yeah, that's a lot of changes and transitioning happening while you're creating new life, and you're also creating new opportunities, and you're also creating work,
Yeah.
So, but
Mhm.
what an amazing thing that your perspective is, you were able to go through the the process of creating the child, having the child. Just, I can't even think of the words. What is it called when you carry the child? Pregnancy. Oh my.
She's having a mom brain right
I
now.
am. This is mom brain. You went
But
through
you
the.
know what
Get that part.
what I found,
Yeah.
found was interesting, because you said you had postpartum anxiety, right? And a lot
Mm,
of times it's so funny, we don't always know the language, because I had some postpartum anxiety. I think, and I was on the like borderline depression, or was
mm,
probably was
Mm,
already fully in it, who knows. But not understanding the language that, to what I was feeling.
yeah.
But understanding that new changes definitely contribute to that, right? Not just the baby. As you said, even having that success, even though it was a good thing, it was something new happening, and it was also
mhm.
a new change to have to navigate. So I can
Yeah,
only imagine, that definitely will have your spidey senses tingling.
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. And I think also with the new baby, a lot of times what happens is, so I was just so used to, being in my field, being very confident, like I have this, you know what I mean? But then when you have a baby, you get insecure about certain things. And then you
Mm-hmm.
have so many people around you who have also already had a baby, who give lots of input, and like lots
Too
of family
much.
do this, that, and that gets stressful. And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
am I doing it right? Everyone has something to say. It was a lot,
Oh,
as you
yes.
guys
I
know.
don't know why they do that though. Well, actually, I do know. It's all in love. And I remember
Yeah.
having to have the conversation and say, I hear what you're saying, and I understand that's how you did it. And I had to say, clearly, I understand it worked for you, and I'm not saying it didn't work. And I think you did a great job. But for me, I have a hard time doing that. Like, I was definitely judged for, like, I don't want to be in the streets all the time. I want to stay home. A lot of times I just needed to be home. I didn't want to show up to everything, because I
Hmm.
just didn't have the capacity. And then on the other
Yeah.
hand, you hear the older people saying, well, I used to take a public transportation if I had, they hike
Oh my
four mountains,
goodness.
doing
Yes.
all these things. And so it's on top of that is their story. So like, but I had to say, okay, no, that's them. I ain't doing it. Don't want to
Well,
hike
shout out to
Mount
you.
Kilimanjaro.
For being very direct like that, because I was never able to be direct like that. I was just, I guess I would try to show it in my attitude,
Right.
but I was that direct. So that, I think that's very important for mothers to do, because it can get very overwhelming.
It is. And it's not that we don't appreciate the assistance or the advice, because I'm all for if you're saving me some stress, I'm all for it. But at the end of the
Mhm.
day, I also want you to understand that I still get to choose from the advice you've given me. Right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And you're
Yes.
Right.
and you're building your own family dynamics. And just because it worked then, now we have more information, we have more resources, we understand better about
Mhm.
the human body. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
You
Oh my
know,
goodness. And I feel like the new information doesn't match anything that they used to.
No,
And
but they're talking now about how postpartum, believe it was Devel Kadeen. She was saying that your body takes like something like a year to fully heal from like having a baby. And like
they,
they expect you to jump right back out. They're like, oh, you're fine after 6 weeks. No, there's a lot of stuff that's happening. And then even talk about like when you're trying to lose the baby weight, to say your body is not going to lose the weight like it should, because you're still healing. And nobody
yeah.
tells us that. We
Right.
beating up ourselves, not eating, all the things just to try
Yes.
to. Oh, but thank
Get
God for more
that.
information.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank God for more information, and thank God that we have more support, we have more access, more opportunities. I think some we just had to, because we had to, right? Your parent didn't
Right.
Mhm.
have any choice for some of the
Right.
parents. They were like,
Right.
you know, and now we do have a lot more options. And so, you know, they would just work. Some of our parents were just working with what they had, you know,
That's right.
and even now some parents are still working with what they have. So,
Doing the
you know,
best what we
shout
got.
out to all the moms. Okay.
There we go. Yeah, that's a good.
Pew. Shout out to all the moms.
Yes. I just love how everyone, it feels like there's a lot of people just advocating for moms and trying to tell people not to be so hard on them.
Yes.
Stop thing you're asking, is the baby sleeping through the night? Stop asking certain questions that puts that pressure on moms.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then every child is different. There's so many, it's just so much that we can't really make it a cookie cup. It can never be a cookie cutter motherhood experience. And I think that's the thing where everyone's trying to put everybody in a certain box. And it's like, well, that may work for you, but that may not work for me. And that has to be okay, you know, because at the end of the day, I see my child. I'm the one who sees my child.
Stay alive, okay? So listen, we just want to, let's celebrate that win, okay?
Yes.
All right, Danny.
Now, before motherhood, before you became a mom, what was your perspective on motherhood? Because a lot of times people, even in their creative careers, like you said, you thought about it before, but a lot of times they're like, well, I'm not going to do it because I am a creative, or I'm focused on my career, or maybe you just didn't have a good example of motherhood. You know, people have those experiences. But what was your perspective on motherhood before you became a mother?
Before I became a mother, I think that I thought about more so the being able to teach and guide a young person. I thought that was beautiful, and just like the building of the family, the bond that you can have with your partner and your children. And I thought about how fun it would be, and just my idea was just this house full of laughter and everyone playing, and the holidays being so exciting. And you know, you do get all of that, but I did not think about the work. I think forgot that part. Or I thought that it's not as hard as they're making it seem. I think I really thought that. I think that you can't even really know how much work it takes until you do it. I think there's no way to really explain it to someone else.
Agreed.
We second that, and we third that 100%.
Because on one hand, like you see people complaining, right? And they were like, oh, motherhood seems so hard. But on the other hand, it's like so wonderful. And I just saw something recently how they were like, I love it, but sometimes I just want to scream. But it's such that unique balance. It's like the best thing ever, but it's just so exhausting.
Yes, it's literally all of it wrapped in one. So
yeah. It's truly unique. It's truly unique. Nothing like it in the world, right?
Nothing like it in the world. But no, has it enhanced or challenged your creativity? Like
both. I would say, of course, the challenge is balance, right? The challenge is trying to find that time to write, trying to find that time to create, and still be a mother and still be very present with my children. But I think that as a creative, you just learn everything again with a child around. Like you see the world through their eyes, you see the first everything. So all those things you forgot, like, oh, my first time seeing, you know, both positives and negatives, right? So my first time about death, or my first time hearing about a baby being born, or just you see all these firsts that these children get to experience and learn, and that just helps with my storytelling.
Of course. I love that. We keep saying on here that being a mother is our superpower, right? Because we're able, it has unlocked something in us for us to see so many different perspectives, to have more empathy. And look how you said, you know, that thing with even with death, and because you have to explain to your kids, okay, the process of these things, and those having to explain those processes effectively definitely helps in how you story tell.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah, that's it right there. It unlocks so many of the things inside of us. Some things that we may not even knew that we actually had within us.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So that's beautiful. All right. So we want to hear more about your entertainment career, right? So you've been in this industry you become a mom. You've been in
Mhm.
different phases, right? You're in the indie space, you're grinding it out, you're doing the things. Um, and you're navigating different facets of your career. And you did kind of you touched on some of the challenges already, but you're from this indie space, and I'm assuming you guys are kind of heading into a more corporate realm, or if you're deciding to stay in the indie space,
Or do both.
or both, or
Yes, so our goal is to definitely do both. We started on YouTube. We started just fully creating from the start to finish, as far as production, as far as building out the stories, casting people. We're on set, we're putting together the scenes. We wear all the hats. And so we started really small, and each season or each new spinoff show we do, our our crew, our cast, everything gets larger. So it's really nice, just to see the growth that has happened. And so, but we would want to get into, because we finance everything ahead of time. Right now, we've worked out several deals to where we create independently and then we license it to networks. So they take it as is,
great.
but we still have the ownership, which is nice. So it always,
That's it.
Yes. Teach
yes.
us.
So it's really awesome to have that. But with financing ourselves, the budgets, even though they've grown quite a bit from where we started from, they still aren't industry standard. They still aren't where we want them to be to create all of the stories that we want to create. And so that is why we're like, okay, we have to explore the route of working with different studios and networks in advance, and having them funded and having them give their input and notes, and taking the more traditional route. And so we started this year saying that that's our goal for this year, but two strikes
Girl.
happened.
I was gonna say,
Yes.
girl, hold up now.
Well, yes. To pivot. That's all they got to do. Yeah.
Ooh, that
And
is
so we're like, okay, this might be a sign from God that we got to keep pushing the route we were already on. And not even just the strikes with the writers and the actors happening, is also just starting all of these conversations about there needing to be a shift in the industry and people getting
Yes.
taken advantage of in various ways, and the need for ownership. And
Yes.
so that's kind of pushing us right back to the indie space. And so we're still looking to do both. But as my husband always says, we have to keep creating. We never want to stop creating, or to be paused, or to have these different networks and studios halt us or put a stop on our
right.
creativity. We still have that ability to, whenever we're ready, to get up and create. And we have our audience there that's always looking for
Yes.
content. And so we're going to continue building that out. And so
Oh, I
it's a
love that.
chore, but it's fun, and it's just been a lot of learning and growth.
Awesome. And so follow up to that is, as a mom, now you've obviously started your series not being a mom, and now you are a mom, and there's all these changes in the industry. Do you feel like the industry is supportive of moms who are in entertainment? Have you personally experienced any challenges in just
Um,
navigating?
so I think that just because so far, as far as being in the industry, all we've done is really taken different meetings. And I just feel like they don't care that you're a mom. They just want what they want. They want the treat.
Right.
There's no, oh, I can't make it to this meeting because of childcare. They don't care about any of that. They're
Yeah.
trying to make
No,
money.
that's
But
what it
as
is.
far as, that's another perk of doing it independently, is that we're able to create our own schedules. We're able to decide, it's still tough, but we're still able to decide, okay, when our child is out of school, this is where we can film. We're able to make those decisions around parenting. So that's another benefit of doing it on our own.
Awesome. And you have other people who are on, I guess, the cast that are also parents, right? And that also works in their favor, correct?
Yes, cast and crew. And so of course, us as parents, we're totally understanding of that. and we have to work around certain schedules as well. And so I had the firsthand experience with my son. My daughter wasn't born yet, but my son, we started filming, and that was really tough because we filmed in Atlanta last year, and he was there. My best friend, we have an incredible village, so my best friend, his godmother, she came out and she was watching him daily. And it's really hard because set hours are different from typical work hours. It's actually 12 hours or more. And just being away from him the whole day, and then coming home, and he may or may not still be awake, and trying to still spend time with him. It was intense. But once it's over, you feel really accomplished because you're like, okay, I was able to do it, balance that motherhood and still work on my goals.
And kudos to you. Kudos to you.
Because your heartstrings, right? I'm sure.
Thank you. It's not easy, but it's worth it.
And so much of the conversation, we just recorded an episode earlier today, and again, it's always this theme of the village, and building a community, intentionally building a community of people that can support you through any different phase of your life, right? So this just get the message, audience listening. Like,
you need that village.
Oh my, there's nothing like that village. And we were building our career when we were in New York City, but we knew we had to get back to where we're born and raised in Los Angeles. We had to get back here because our village is here. We knew we would need them and need to lean on them. And you can't take advantage, and you have to still respect other people's time.
Right.
But having that support there is just a big game changer.
Yeah, it's peace of mind when you have kids. It's definitely, you need to know that, okay, there were good people, they're safe,
Yes.
Babysitters, you could pay them, but you don't know if they're going to love your kid like family or your village will, right? So
absolutely. And to be locked in on set, I know, like I mentioned the postpartum anxiety, and I was so attached at the hip with my son and always worried about what he was doing. And so to be able to have to go on set and fully lock in there, I had to trust who he was with. And I was just so shocked the first time I was on set because I was really locked in and I really just trusted who he was with. And then when it was time for everyone to have lunch, I'm like, I have a baby. Let me make sure he's good.
But you know what? Do you think that helped though? Because in my experience, you're right. Okay, go ahead. You can elaborate on that.
Oh yeah, it definitely helped because it just helped me get back into my groove. It really helped with that separation because it was too much. I was an overbearing mom before.
We all are at times, okay? I think it's just how it is,
And especially with your firstborn. I mean, that was your first baby. The first baby gets all the bubble wrap around them. Right? The second one, you're like, oh, we can at least we know we can keep them alive. Okay. So
Exactly. Oh, but that's great. Oh my, it's such a blessing. So we definitely advocate for community, for villages, because they're very much important. If I didn't have her as Kellyanne as my village, a lot of times, I was like, I don't know what I would have done. Like, look, can you babysit last minute? I'm like, oh, please. And she's like, okay. And she didn't say no. Even with all her kids, some people be like, well, I have too many kids, because I have said that. And I only have 2. I'm like, I don't know if I can keep it. But she was like, come on down. I was like, yeah.
Bring them. Because because it's not even, and just to clarify, the village is not just for childcare. Okay. So we don't want people thinking it's just
but it helps.
It's a sounding board, it's a venting, it's just not feeling like you're alone, right? Like I'm going through this, I'm feeling this type of way. I'm feeling this. I don't really know what this is. Have you felt this before? Oh, yes, I felt this before. You know what I mean? And this is how I got through it. So it's more than just childcare. It's really a support system for you emotionally, mentally, physically, socially, because sometimes we need a break from looking at these kids, and we just need somebody. We just need to go out and eat and drink a mojito and just relax. You know what I mean?
100%.
So that's definitely important. And as we talk about village, your work is really centers the Black voice, right? And the Black community. And we thank you for that. We thank you.
Yes.
We
Yes.
need your stories.
Yes. We need new stories, fresh stories, things that we can all relate to. Cause not everybody out here, boys in the hood. I'm just saying,
And we thank John Singleton for his work.
We thank you. No, we thank you for your work. I'm just saying.
Oh, gosh, yes, John. We love John.
Yes. But we need to hear more of the voices of experiences. And I know hearing you speak before, you've talked about how it was inspired by the things that you were experiencing, the things that people in your life were experiencing. And so that's just to even more of a real world experience. And so my question would be, having this family and having a Black family, you know what I mean? Are you interested in creating more like Black family content?
Yes. Yes, and that's what my husband and we often say. We're like, okay, now all the script ideas we're coming up with have to do with kids. Anytime we have a new experience in our life, it's like, okay, now there's a story for that. There's a story for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's so much needed. As you guys said, we don't see ourselves enough. We feel like, and I'm really excited because there is a lot of Black content out there, but there's still not enough. There's times where I my TV and I really wonder what I'm going to watch. Is there anything new and Black and really good quality that I can watch? And so, and there's just a multitude of stories that need to be told that we can relate to. And so, yes, I definitely want to continue creating Black stories. And a lot of what I want to do through my work is just letting people know that it's possible. Just because right now I just feel like there's all these gender wars going on. There's a lot of people that feel like Black love is dead or it's impossible.
We rebuke that.
Yes, we rebuke that. It's really, they say the dating pool is terrible, and
they're trash. They say that.
Up on it. What's the point of marriage if it's gonna end in divorce? There's just all this negativity around there, and I try through my platform, Black Love Exists, and also through the stories I tell. I want to highlight that there is just so much beautiful Black love out there, and that it is very possible. I want to continue showcasing that in various ways.
Yes,
and we feel that.
See it. Yeah, for sure.
We need to see it. I feel that struggle as well with, there's a report that just came out and it's still such a lack of diversity on TV. And I find myself going back to Martin, Living Single, you know what I'm saying?
The old thing.
Family Matters, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
My wife and kids like going back to these old shows to just relive that experience of seeing Black families joyful and going through it, but still having each other. So I'm glad that the work that you're creating and the work that other people in the community are creating that will give us the experience and the voices of other Black stories that need to be told. And we're so thankful for you and your husband for the work that you've put out and that we'll be putting out.
Thank you.
There's a need. I think we always say that people need to see it. You need to see that it's possible. And I just we were so lucky to grow up seeing so many different types of shows and different families. Even with Moesha, she had the stepmom, so it was different types of families, but it was still Black families.
Yes.
I feel like it was a lot, and I feel like we don't have as many. I know we have a few on Netflix, and but on like daytime TV, or like not daytime, but like on local TV, it's not that much anymore. And I feel like we need to keep seeing it. Social media does help a lot, but it's not. We need more, and we want more, and we expect more, and we're going to see more.
We want more. Go ahead,
so, yes,
go ahead, Roni and Caleb.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Do that thing. We ready.
We have to just be there to watch it and support it whenever it's there. True. Because it's the studios and networks and other people. Numbers. Once they see, all they care about is the money. So if they see enough people are watching it, they'll keep creating it.
Okay. I wish I had 10,000 TVs because there's so many. I'm not gonna lie, some of my shows got canceled and I'm hurt. I'm still hurt.
It's shocking a lot of times because it's like, oh, it's so good, but
and so
not enough.
layered and what we wanted to see. And a lot of times I just think I think it's just not enough exposure. Maybe people are not sharing it enough. But
Yes.
we're gonna learn next one that comes out, okay? And all the ones that we know right now, we need to start sharing and making sure everybody know about them.
Everybody do your part. Stop sharing the GIFs and share these great TV shows, okay? Because I'm tired. I'm tired. My show got canceled. I'm still hurt about it. I'm hurt. But you know what? We have great things coming. We have great things coming. And I'm very excited to see what you're going to be, you and your husband will be putting out that we can enjoy. No pressure, but we await.
Yeah, we thrive under pressure, so it's fine.
All right.
So you talked about, you mentioned, you guys are doing it and your village definitely helps, and when you guys are getting to, so are you creating at home? Do you guys have because how do you navigate your personal creative pursuits and motherhood? I know we all say this balance, but we know sometimes we have to pick the thing in this moment, in this time, in this hour. How are you doing it? Are you doing it at home? Are the children watching you create at home? How does that work?
We do some of that with the children creating, but we also have family, my mom and my sister-in-law that will come over and help with the kids while we will pay them, of course, sometimes because they spend so much of their time over there. But then we'll go in the garage and create there. So that's been our creative.
Your office space. Okay, I love that. So it's getting done.
Yeah, we started out in the office, in the house with them, but then my husband's like, oh, absolutely not. Every time you hear something, you're running out. You're still very much involved. He was like, we need to. And sometimes I'll hear them from the house and I try. He's like, oh, no, I'll go in and check. And I'm like, okay, I need to go grab some coffee. He's like, I'll get it because you'll never come back out.
You never come back.
Oh, man.
That's so funny. I love it though, because it's real, and that's what it is. Mom's gonna be moms, okay? We just gonna do what we do, and your husband saw that, and I like how he's going ahead and stepping in and making sure you get what you need. Okay.
I love that. Moms are gonna mom. We gonna mom
always.
Even if it's not our kid, we might mom them. I mean, what can I say? I've done that.
I've done it. And I'm a teacher too. So, I think all the kids are my kids. So I'm always checking kids. Okay, now, from your experience, what are some tips that you can share to help some moms who are also in the situation where they're wanting to build their career, their creative career, and they still, want to raise their kids?
I say, you have to just find any moment you can to do it. I think that, a lot of times you can plan to do it. So I would say scheduling is great, but a lot of times if a kid is feeling sick or if an appointment comes up, that schedule's getting thrown off. So you have to just really find the time to make it happen. I'll do it as they're right when they go to sleep, for a while before I go to sleep. I just feel like it's one of those things that you just have to push through to make it happen. And so and then just finding some time, if possible. Like I said, we'll go out in the garage, or my husband and I, if I'm writing something, I'm on a deadline, he'll take over with the kids while I'm in the back and I can fully lock in. And so it's just honestly making a way out of no way sometimes. And that's and I know a lot of people are like, I just can't do it anymore. And it takes a lot of resilience. It takes a lot of dedication. It takes having vision and just staying focused on that vision and saying, this is what I want. But also being a mom, being as present as possible, doing what you need to do. I never want to neglect my kids in any way. But when you have that time to work on your goals and your dreams, you just have to make it happen.
I love that. It's definitely encouraging me because, as I said, we have a list of reasons why we can't. Well, oh, the kids need me. Oh, this needs to get done. The laundry, this, that. But, Kellyanne and I have talked a lot. We talk about, we have to be good to ourselves as well. And that's a part of us. And denying that part of us is not helping anybody because you're just going to be angry and you're going to have regret and you're going to be bitter and it's going to be a whole pile of things. So, do the hard thing. It's not impossible. It might be hard, but it's not impossible.
It's so hard. It's hard, but yes, not impossible.
Not impossible for sure. All right. Now we're coming up to the fun stuff. Danielle, take it away.
Yes. Okay. So we want to know who's your favorite TV or movie mom.
Ooh, I feel like my first thought was Jennifer Lewis.
Oh, right now.
She's been so many moms. Mama Rose, the mom on Blackish. She's been a variety of moms. And so that's the first mom that came to my head.
And the fire. I love her. Listen, I think she's everybody's internet mom or auntie or whatever, because listen, like she always, when she posts things, I'm like so stuck. I'm like listening. I'm like, whatever you're talking about, I'm listening to you. And, she's so full of wisdom and she's funny. And you can tell that she's actually pretty like loving. She talks about her relationship with Brandy. And I just think she's everybody's mom. I love that. Yeah. Oh, that's the first one. People typically say things like Claire Huxtable, but Jennifer Lewis. I love this. I love that.
She has so many layers, like you said, and it's just very big personality. And then she's shown us that real side of her and her personal struggles in real life. And it's just she's all the things.
Oh, I love that. Oh, okay. And now, motherhood. It's a whole thing. We all know. Tell us what your least favorite thing is and your favorite thing.
Ooh, the lack of sleep would be my least favorite thing. And I'm not big on sleep, but it's like, man, I didn't know how much I needed it until now.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And my favorite thing are my kids' laughter. I think their laughter is my favorite thing.
Oh, I love that. Oh, yes, that is true. From even when you first hear the first baby laugh, and then just the baby laugh. Oh, I have recordings, and I just go back and say, "Look, listen to this."
It's just so pure and full of joy. It's the cutest.
Yes. Oh, now I have to go back and listen to my kids laugh and just like, oh, remember when you were this small? They're like, I don't remember when I was this small. Whatever. I remember when you were this small.
And then finally, what encouraging words would you be able to give to all creative moms out there doing their thing, just trying to get through?
Encouraging words. I feel like I would just say you are absolutely the reason the world goes around. No one in this world can do anything without having a mom. And that it's just so possible for you to still be good to your children and have all the things your heart desires.
Oh, that is perfect. Oh,
we received that.
I'm taking it. Yes.
We received that.
Let me get my tissue, because yes, that is so true. Oh, I love that. You were perfect for this podcast.
Ooh, yes.
I think it's gonna be huge. I think it's just so important that moms have a space like this. So thank you guys for the work you're doing.
Oh, thank you. We know we're doing our thing. We pushing through, like you said, right? We got the kids in the other room and we pushing through.
Yes, we're locked in. I love that you said that, locked in. Yes. I watched this message with I normally watch Sarah Jake's message, but this is the message where she actually lost her wig. And
it was good. It
was a good message. And it was lock in, right? And it's like, yes, lock in to what God's doing in you, what he wants to do in your life. And like, there's so many people that need us to lock in. Right?
Yes.
Starting with our families, starting with our children. They need us to be locked in so that they can start locking in. Right. And then it's just a legacy that's continuing and growing, that we've got to lock in as moms. And whether that means that we're staying at home mom, or whether it's a go out and make the money mom, or whether that's the do the creative work mom, we have to lock in and pursue our passions with excellence, with passion, with purpose. And also our kids will see that and they will know that they can do the same thing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So, beautiful stuff. All right. Well, let us know, how can people connect with you on social media? What's your Instagram, your TikTok? If you got a TikTok, any of the platforms, because I know you got a lot of platforms.
I do. So I'm mainly on Instagram. That's the platform I go to. So you can follow me at Mrs. Roni Davis, MRSRONIDAVIS, or Black Love Exists, where I highlight Black families and Black couples, or the Tough Love series, because we may just have new content coming there soon.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I love a teaser. Okay. I love that.
Ooh, yes. I'm
so excited.
I'm just thinking, I'm thinking like, wow, I have things that I want to create, things that I'm writing. We just shot something again because it's like the world is changing. I have to make my own stuff. And so we just shot something and I'm like excited to put it out in the world. Thank you.
I can't wait to see it, girl.
Let me tell you, I'm a drama queen. So I don't always like what that shade, or it's true though. I am a drama queen.
It's not shade.
It's facts. I'm a drama queen, but I like that is my wheelhouse. I like dramatic stories. I like people who have layers. I like looking at relationships, whether it's mother-daughter, whether it's father-son, and I like examining those dynamics. And so that's more of what I'm interested in writing. But anyway, I'm just saying your work encourages me to keep going. That's my point. So thank you for your work and thank you for your words and just thank you for being here.
Yes, and please keep going. And I appreciate this so much. This was really fun. And again, I think you guys keep going because we need spaces like this for Black creative moms and all moms.
Yes.
All moms. Well, we're here for the Black ones. So we're here for everybody. We're here for everybody. We're here for everybody. But there's something, when I see a Black mom pushing a stroller in the mall, I just be looking at her like, you better go, girl.
You got it, sis. You got it, sis.
Because we need some love. Let's be real. Yes, all moms we're here for, but Black moms don't get enough love and attention, right? And recognition. We get judged harsher and quicker. I spoke with my friend. She's a white girl, and she was saying how she feels like she gets all the assistance in the grocery store. And I was like, girl, people don't ever ask me if they want to help me, and plus I don't even really want them to. But it's the difference. We don't have the same experiences. So, yes, we've created this space for Black moms and Black creative moms because there is a need and they need to be celebrated. So we ain't got no shame in that.
Yeah. That's right. I know that's right. Well, thank you again for joining us on the ProCreatives podcast, Roni. We appreciate you.
Thank you, ladies.
Special thanks to our audience. Catch us weekly on Spotify and Amazon Music. Leave a review and follow us on Instagram and Facebook to get more information and inspiration on motherhood and making things.
Have a question or comment? Send us an email at theprocreativespodcast@gmail.com.
Until next time, keep creating, mamas.
Yeah. Peace.